So here's why traders lose a lot of money with profitable EAs. It's not that the bot is horrible, they just don't know how to optimize. And it's because they just hit optimize and they see a green line go up and then they think they're all done and it's all good and it's all cool, but that is not the case. I'm telling you that now. A lot of people have no idea what the numbers actually mean, what the filters actually mean, what the drop down selections that you can select actually mean. I'm gonna break it all down for you so you can optimize your bot to the most optimal potential. Optimize. That is the key word of this video, is optimize. Usually people pay $10,000 for knowledge or education and they stick to it because they made that commitment. So for you to make this commitment and watching this video, I want you to think about how you just gave me $10,000 and you giving me $10,000 is hitting that subscribe button, because this information is vital and it will help you. So I'm going to show you the real optimization process that's going to separate the real traders, which is 5%, from the gamblers, which is the 95% of people who don't make money in trading. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to interpret MT5's data, all the variables that it gives you, so you can understand it and continue to apply it and refine your strategy or your optimized setting. So yes, we'll be getting on the charts today. So I'm Kino and I've optimized thousands of EAs or trading bots across years of data, dozens of different brokers, and multiple sessions, multiple time zones, multiple time frames, and all the data that I use is verified and high quality tick data. And I've personally seen hundreds of traders, so many traders, blow their entire accounts because they trade one thing, they change one input on their settings because they have no idea exactly what that setting does, so they end up blowing their account and messing everything up. The difference between the disaster and winning, it's not luck, it's strictly just a system, it's strictly the strategy that is built into it, but it's also following a predefined plan. So after the video, you'll have that plan. So optimization, it's not about finding those magic settings, it is about stress testing your EA's logic across thousands of scenarios to see where it stays consistent. So here's what happens. The MC5, it will run thousands of back tests. So I'm even going to show you, it'll run thousands of back tests showing you which ones is most optimal, right? And each one tests slightly different input value. So then it ranks the system by performance, by whatever, I'll show you right here, by whatever optimization you pick. If you're going for slow, complete algorithm, I'll go into that. Fast genetic based algorithm, I'll go into that. And then all these different ones, we'll get into what all those means and how you can use it and how you can interpret it. So your job is to know which algorithm to run, which metrics to trust, and how to spot the difference between real edge and random luck. Most traders skip this step. That is why they lose. MT5 gives you two optimization methods, so each one does something completely different. Slow complete algorithm, this is brute force. MT5, it'll test every single combination of your input value. So say you take profit 10 to 50 step 5 and then stop loss 20 to 100 step 10, and I'll show you exactly what I mean by that. So if you see right here, you'll see the different steps, and then this is where you start and this is where you stop, this section. So basically what that is saying is, okay, we're going to try every single variable in between those. So for instance, let's go TP. So say you're in TPRR and you check this. So it'll do 2.3 all the way to a risk reward ratio to 6. So what it's going to do, it's going to go test all those different take profits in between those two variables. That's exactly what it does. And MT5 will test all the combinations, every single one. And so when you're doing this slow complete algorithm, believe it is going to take, well, depending on what time frame you're doing, because you know you can do the test specific to what duration you pick, like month to month. So right here, your custom date period. So say you want to do October, 3 months. So depending on what you pick, if you're doing 3 months, 2 months, 4 months, 5 months at a time, that depends on how fast it'll go or how many inputs you're having it test. But these slow complete algorithms can literally take 24 hours for just one instrument, sometimes even more. It depends how big the test is. So you do have to make sure your computer can handle that kind of processing, because I know when I do it, mine is running. The CPU is working nonstop. So when you use this, it's for the small parameter ranges. So it's after you use the fast genetic based algorithm, which I'm going to get into, and then it's for when you need that 100% certainty for settings that you find through the fast genetic based algorithm, and then final verification after that genetic testing. So it's slow, but it is very, very accurate and is very, very powerful. But you need to make sure you're doing it in a plan and a process in a specific way, which is chronological, because you want to run fast genetic based algorithm first, which we will now go into. So this one uses pattern recognition. So instead of testing everything, it finds the best combinations and it evolves towards better ones. So it's like natural selection for trading strategies. So it finds 90% of the most optimal zones in a fraction of the time. So it is very quick. So I ran a test today and I did it on a specific pair for about 3 months. I had maybe 15 to 20 inputs selected and it took about 2.5 hours. Some pairs take longer, some are shorter. Some take longer because it's less trades. There's a lot of variables when it comes to this, but you're not going to be waiting for 24 hours. You can wait for 24 hours if you're doing years at a time, but I did 3 months and I waited about 2 hours for a test. That's why even me, when I come out with settings for my bot, the Kino bot, it takes me a long time to get these settings because I go through the fast genetic based algorithm and then I run it through the slow complete algorithm. And then I'm going between the different balance max, profit factor max. So different things. So it can get real technical and get real complicated. That's why you could just leave the work to me. Also, if you're interested in learning more about trading AI and how it can automate your trades for you, make sure you click the link in the description below. You'll get invited to my free live trading AI masterclass. But back to fast genetic based algorithm. So when to use it is large ranges or multiple variables. Then the early exploitation. So this is going to be the first test that you run. And this is when speed matters, when you need to get some settings out or you just really want to get testing, get everything in there. So the pro workflow is to run the fast genetic first to find the profitable zone. So once you find those profitable zones, you want to take note of them and then you run them through the slow complete algorithm on the narrowed range for precision. So that's how the quant teams operate: speed first and then your precision second. So you want to get that speed first with the fast genetic based algorithm, then the slow complete algorithm. It will save your life. And then when you enable all symbols in the market watch, MT5 is going to test your EA across every instrument in your watch list. So that's not saying it's going to automatically test every single instrument in your broker, but just what you select on your watch list. And you know how you can right click on the market to hide all and then select the ones you want, or select the ones that you actually want to trade. And so this is how you find out which markets your EA actually fits. Because a lot of people ask me, can it just trade anything? Technically, anything can trade anything. You want the most profitable settings, you want the most optimal settings, you want the most optimal pairs for your bot. You don't want to just throw it on anything. You want to see what hits the hardest, right? And so this is where you run individual optimizations first, and then you enable all symbols to test the robustness of those settings that you find. So what you're looking for, if your EA profits on Euro USD, GBP USD, and USD JPY, but then it sucks on gold or GJ, then that's telling you something. Your logic works on stable, low spread pairs, not volatile metals or crosses. And then the thing is also, I'll say some settings work better on gold, and then some settings work better on, forex pairs, or some settings work better on futures or indices. A strong EA stays profitable or at least stable across those multiple pairs, and that's just consistency. So the random spikes on one pair, that's noise. You want to run from that. You want to get away from that. You want to attach yourself to and get closer to the ones that have a nice consistent curve on the upward trajectory, not crazy spikes down, crazy spikes up. You want it slow and steady. Am I saying it's not you don't want any losses? No, you're going to have losses as trading. No bot is 100%. That is an absolute lie. But you just want to be consistent. You don't want to focus on that one trade, because one trade will never make you rich. It's the 10 disciplined, consistent trades that will make an impact on your life. And then it's the 20, 30, 40, 50 trades in that month that are disciplined that starts to compound your account. And then it's the 500 consistent trades over a year that really change your life into your situation. So after optimization, MT5 gives you dozens of columns. So most are useless, but the 9 tell you everything. Balance max, that's the final account balance after the test. So everyone chases this big number, and that is the biggest mistake, because a high balance with 60% drawdown is worthless. So the way to use it is to compare it to starting equity. So $10,000 to $13,000 equals a 30% gain. But check the risk behind it before celebrating. So balance is a starting filter, not the answer. But I use balance max in the beginning when I first do my test, and then I go through the optimization results, and then I kind of look through. You see all the things right here. I look through and look at the drawdown. So right here, you see profit was $1,700 within 3 months, but the account balance started 1,000. You can say that's good, but I don't really like those, especially considering I had 2 trades. So you have to look at these different inputs and values so you can know what makes sense. Okay, so we made $1,700 right here on balance max, but it was 2 trades and the drawdown was 4%. Okay, perfect, great drawdown. But at the same time, come on, 2 trades are not realistic. So we click profit to get the highest profit. We'll scroll all the way up to the top. We have $14,000 profit in about 3 months on a $1,000 account. So 78 trades, I like that. 30% drawdown, that's a big drawdown. I don't don't really want to go on that drawdown. So then you can scroll through. This is why it's a long test. So 24% drawdown, 22% drawdown. That's when you start looking, okay, so we had 22% drawdown. We had 93 total trades and $10,000 profit. And then that's how you just kind of start filtering out. Then you see we had, okay, $9,000 profit, 46 trades across 3 months. So you have to divide that by 3. That's going to be around 10 to 15 trades a month average and 6% drawdown. So that's not bad. That's pretty good. So that's kind of what you want to see. And then you got to ask yourself, do I want to go conservative? Do I want to go aggressive? Do I want more trades? So if I want more trades, look at this. We have 90 trades, but 32% drawdown. So you kind of see, you know, when you have those more trades, you're likely to go in a bit more drawdown. So you have to ask yourself, what's the balance? Do I want more trades? Do I want safer drawdown? But ultimately, guess what? These had higher drawdown than a 6% drawdown, right? But it had more profit. So you have to ask yourself, do I want that more profit? Am I able to be in that drawdown without hurting myself? So it's a lot of variables when it comes to it. And that's why a lot of it is very personalized. And it's like, what do you want to do? What is your plan? But obviously I give my plan to people. Some people like it. Some people are more aggressive and they want to go harder. So I do have those options, but I'm like, keep it consistent, keep it conservative, get the nice and slow growth. So when we go to profit factor max, which is the next one. So this is total gross divided by total gross loss. So it shows how much you make per dollar loss. So profit factor of 2, that means you earn $2 for every dollar you lost. And so your thresholds above 1.3 is acceptable, above 1.6 is good, and then above 2 is excellent. So if you see profit factor of 5 with 70% drawdown, that curve is fitted garbage. And let's see if we can find the profit factor on the result. So I don't really like running profit factor. I like balance max because you can refine it and then run profit factor after that, after your predefined entries, etc. So now we go to expected payoff max. So this is the average profit per trade. So this is total net profit divided by the number of trades. This measures the consistency. So how you use it is it must be positive compared to the spread and the commissions. And then if expected payoff is $1.20 and your spread costs is $1, you're going to barely be breaking even. So you need a real edge, just not a theoretical one. And then drawdown minimum. So this is how deep your equity drops before it recovers. So max drawdown, that equals the highest peak minus lowest valley before a new high. So this is your pain threshold. So under 20% is absolutely incredible. A lot of people don't like that when it comes to profit from challenges, but on a live account, it's not bad. 20 to 35% is acceptable. And then over 40%, that's kind of danger. You don't really want to go there. And in real time, real life psychology, you're going to be hurting at that 40% drawdown, because guess what? That's almost half your account that is in the negative. And then we got recovery factor max. So this is how fast your EA recovers from his losses. So the formula is total net profit divided by your drawdown. So if you made $10,000 with $2,000 drawdown, your recovery factor is 5. So every dollar gain generated $5 profit, and that's efficiency. So the 1 threshold is acceptable, then 2 is good, and then 3 is absolutely great. So this is a hidden gem for ranking your robustness. Then we have ratio max. So this is return per unit of risk. Some of these really don't matter. I just kind of want to give you the education so you can know it when you get deeper into testing bots. But this is adjusted for volatility. So your thresholds is 0.5 to 1. That's very average. 1 to 2 is strong, and then 2 over 2 is a very exceptional. So the Sharpay of 3 means your profits are 3 times more stable than your volatility. So that's gold standard for consistency. Finally, custom max. You can define your own optimization target. You can write a formula that prioritizes what you value most. I absolutely do not use this because it's pretty much useless. They already gave us what we really need, and that's balance max and profit factor max. And so that's what I use. I never really did my own custom max. Maybe it's something I can look into. Let me know if you guys ever used it in the comments below. But if you haven't, I wouldn't think much about it. So let's finish with complex criterion max. So this is MT5's own multi-factor scoring model. So it blends profit, drawdown, consistency, and recovery into one number. So the higher, the better overall stability. So pros use it. It prevents cherry picking. Instead of chasing profit alone, it rewards strategies that survive those changing markets, those iffy markets. So it sorts by complex criterion max first. This is the closest thing to a truth meter inside MT5. So how to use the filter results like a pro is after every optimization in this order. So you want to look at the drawdown percentage, make sure it is below 25%. Then you want to look at the recovery factor. If you ran that test, run your settings through or whatever you find that you like, make sure it is over 2. Then your profit factor needs to be over 1.5. Then your expected payoff should be positive, and your complex criterion is the highest. The top 5 results that pass these filters are your shortlist. So export them, then forward tests each for at least 2 weeks. Choose the one that holds steady across for different months, and that's real edge. That's how you have a profitable bot. That's how you have profitable settings. That's how you make a lot of money. That's how you pass a lot of tests. So again, if you want to be a part of my free live trading AI masterclass, and I can show you the possibilities with trading AI, make sure you hit the link in the description. So when your optimization finishes, open the 3D graph, the X and Y axis of your two variables, like take profit and stop loss, and then the Z axis shows your performance. So this is your graph right here. You can see how it's just kind of steady going up. It tells you a lot, honestly. A lot of people look over it, but what you're looking for is just smooth plateaus equals the real robustness. The EA performs well across a range of values. And then obviously what you don't want is the sharp spikes, overfitting. It only works on that exact historical condition. If you see a thin needle of profit surrounded by red zones, that's not a strategy, that's absolute luck. Because don't get me wrong, bots get lucky. You want those strategic bangers, I'm telling you. So once you've picked your finalists, run forward tests on demo for 2 to 4 weeks. If the results align with your back test, move to live with half normal risk, and then after 30 days of profit, then you can scale. You understand how like a lot of people that want to rush into trading AI and just go full margin on it, but I'm telling you, scale nice and slow, let it show itself profitable before you start risking all this money on it. So this is the exact pipeline that I use before deploying new KinoBot presets live to everybody that uses it. So no shortcuts, no guessing. And remember, optimization isn't magic, it's very strategic. It's markets evolve, volatility shifts, spreads will widen. So even perfectly tuned EAs will have losing weeks. It's completely normal. The difference is process. So if you understand the algorithms, the metrics, and how to read them, you'll never be the trader randomly tweaking numbers and hoping for the best. You'll be the one who knows exactly what to look for. So if you want to see this process live, make sure you join my free trading AI masterclass. Link is in the description. Thank you for that $10,000, which is the subscribe button. So you paid attention, made it all the way to the end. I'll walk you through the full MT5 optimizations, how to build adaptive bots, and how to optimize like a professional. I'll see you inside and see you in the next video.